Thanks to those joining us live and those that will be joining us on the archive. I've been joined by the one and the only Christine Lopez. You are in the ring with Christine. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell button that way you're notified every time she comes on live on this channel. Whether it's any live, whether it's the Wednesday show with Women Crushing a Wednesday with Crystal Nika, or if she just feels like going live at any time, so that way you're notified. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you hit the like as well. Let us know what you think, and we'll go from there. Christine, how are you doing?
Yes, I am well. How are you? We had a great day today here in Colorado Springs. We had a sparring day with the Olympians and the training partners, and it was good. It was a good day.
It was a good day today. Okay.
Day. How was your day?
It was all right. It was all right. You know what I mean?
What is exciting is mine.
Jury duty, and you know what I mean, is what it is. But
jury duty.
But I had important things to do, like jury duty. Okay, I'm just saying I was being a good citizen today. All right.
Good for you.
That's right.
To all the youth watching, remember, when you get that letter in the mail, if you're 18 and up, better go to jury duty.
And here in Texas, telling the judge you didn't get it, doesn't fly. I didn't get it in the mail, doesn't fly. My job didn't let me, doesn't fly. Right.
Nope.
So anyway, with all that said, Christine, there was some big news yesterday. And we knew something was going to drop because Ryan was already announcing his retirement.
Right.
And then Bill Haney spilled the beans, saying it's going to be a day of reckoning for Ryan. The New York State Athletic Commission has done what the Michigan State Athletic Commission hasn't done with Alicia Bumgarner.
Right.
They rendered a decision. And he's suspended for a year. It's been switched to a no contest. He was fined $10,000 to pay to the commission, and they took his purse from him of over $1 million that he needs to give back to Golden Boy. So that is that. Okay. Or they're going to give, if they had it withheld, that doesn't include pay-per-view revenue, nothing like that. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of time. Time is money. And Ryan Garcia cannot box again for at least another year. Like always, he probably will have to do another hearing to try to get licensed again. So, but
it's like, is it really a year, or is it a year from when he was found guilty? So is it like 9 months? I mean, is it really a year? From when? A year from when?
It's going to be from when he fought.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not most people were predicting 6 months, but he got double that time. So hey, we are where we are. Like, you know what I mean? It's something. It's something.
It's to me, it's just like a little slap on the hand. You know, we've talked about this.
Well, over $1 million is not a slap in the hand.
No, that is not a slap in the hand, but the year is a slap in the hand. It is. And I mean, according to Ryan, you know, he has $50 million, or, you know, he makes all this money on social media and this and that. So, you know, for him, it's a drop in the bucket. To somebody else, it's going to be major. But, you know, I'm just really curious to know how many other boxers that have tested positive have had to give back their purse to the promoter. That's what I want to know.
There has been cases, but like that I know of, but it wasn't the full purse.
Okay.
So the guaranteed purse. So it was like, I think Tyson after a year bite paid like a percentage.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That wasn't
for PEDs, the full purse. Who else has had to do that?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. If anybody knows out there, they could let us know. But but I'll tell you what. I have so many questions. Some of them I don't really care that much about. Like I think they're capping about how much money they made for this fight. We know Ryan was making 55% of the guaranteed purse, and we just saw what it was because they took it from him. He has to get back to Golden Boy, and so Devin made less than that in his guarantee. But they just did a purse bid, and he's complaining that he's getting he's not going to get the amount he wants for a Sandor Martin fight. So many questions that have arisen, but that's whatever to me. But but the other thing is this. Just to stick to Ryan for a little bit. I knew there was a problem when Ryan's story wasn't consistent, right? First, he said he doesn't even take supplements, so how can he possibly have taken anything? Right. And then it turns out that and then he said Vada has something against him. Victor Conte must have done something. I'm going to sue Vada. It's because I supported Trump, and now they're doing this to me. It's because I support children. So now they're attacking me because I spoke out against people against children. Right. So it was a big conspiracy.
I think also Haney did something.
Haney, the Haneys, the Haneys have a lot.
Something.
The Haneys did something. Yeah. Bill, you know how Bill is. And like Bill Haney broke in like Mission Impossible, and he did something to it. So the problem with all that is that later the smart people around him that you hire, like lawyers and there's a reason, Christine, they usually tell people to shut up, right?
Yeah.
Shut up, let us take care of it.
Exactly.
All right?
Stay out of the limelight, please.
Yeah, like stop going to Twitter and saying, I didn't cheat because I don't cheat. It's not like a good explanation. So anyway, they try to use a contamination excuse, which has been being used a lot by fighters, right?
Yes, it has.
And here's the issue, though, is that they sent this. So now he did take the supplements, right? So it turned out he does take supplements. So that was already a red flag to me. Like, you say he didn't take supplements, but now you're arguing that the supplements you took, they did test the supplement, Christine, and it did come back positive for ostarine. There's a problem, though. Like, the big problem is that the manufacturer of that supplement came out and said, no, our stuff doesn't have ostarine, right? And they tested off of the same batch, and they came back negative. So they're like, well, it didn't come from us. So we don't know how this supplements that you've been owning for 2 years, right? We don't know how the ostarine got in there, but it wasn't there when you bought it from us, because the other ones from the same batch were not positive, right?
Yeah.
So that was already a problem.
Another lawsuit for slander, but yeah.
No, there you go. Right? So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that's something else Ryan's going to have to deal with, right?
Absolutely.
So then the inconsistencies in the stories, and also the attitude about it, right?
Yeah.
And him saying, why would I agree to testing if I was going to test positive?
Well, I mean, you have to. Everybody does.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Christine. Why agree to a weigh-in if you're not going to weigh in at the weight?
Yeah, you're right. Why are you going to agree to fight for a title fight, and then you don't do that because you're overweight or whatever? Yeah,
people do things that we scratch our heads about all the time. It doesn't mean they're innocent.
All the time.
You know what I mean? You're a mom. I'm sure you've caught your kids doing stuff. And you're like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? But it doesn't mean they're innocent. It just means, well, it was maybe a dumb thing they did.
My kids are, but yeah.
All the time, right? Unless you catch them. Right? But the point is this, and that's exactly how Ryan's mom and dad were. My son wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I don't blame them for defending their son, but obviously, like, we can't just take your word for it.
But you know what? The thing is, have they been really defending him? I mean, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen any of the parents speaking.
Well, they did. The dad came out and said there's something going on with Victor Conte, and then he said we don't know who Victor Conte is. Oh, and here's another thing, Christine. Like, they worked with Victor Conte.
No, you're right. He did have that one press release or whatever it was. But the thing is, where are they at whenever he's in the hotel room and he's making all these tweets and he's getting the police called on him and he has a motorcycle helmet on and he's doing all these crazy things? I mean, where are they then?
I want everybody to stop and think about what Christine just said. He had a motorcycle helmet on inside a hotel room. And he was destroying property. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what?
Yeah.
That screams you need help, bro.
Absolutely. Like so where are the parents? They're there when the cameras are out. But
he's 25 years old. Like he's
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, if your parents are alive.
But I get your point, though, because like when he's in fight night and they're going to make money and
that's my
they're
point.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him, Christine. I've been telling him like that you're making great points. Tell him, Christine.
Thank you for telling him.
And let me give a quick shout out to the chat, by the way. H Money MOB in the building. HCP salute. He says salute to you. He's now with HCP. Ryan Garcia took steroids and cheated Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia is a fraud. Ryan Garcia is fake. Ryan Garcia is a cheater. Ryan Garcia got exposed. Man. Shout out to Richard Ortiz. Shout out to you, brother. Mike Ramirez. I thought Golden Boy owes them pay-per-view money. I don't know about that, to be honest with you. Who knows what's going on with that? The Fighter's Voice. How's it going? Did you see that? Make that post, by the way, Christine, where he's in the pool and he throws a finger in the air? Is he happy he got that $1 million or something, or what?
Yeah. I mean, anything. I mean, was he ever really for Ryan? I mean, we already know that he was going to make him some money, so he was happy when he made him the money. When he thought
he was pro Ryan when Ryan won,
right? And now that he's going to give the money back, I mean, he's for Ryan too, but. If he really cared, he should have been at that hotel room too. You know, it is what it is. It's a business.
Speaking of money, shout out to Al Money 231 with a $1.99.
Thank you so much.
With that super sticker. And StreamYard still doesn't show the super stickers. They got to fix that.
I don't know why. I got to fix
it. It's the blue thumbs up, and we definitely
appreciate it. I love the blue thumbs up. Appreciate you so much.
Speaking of thumbs up, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. You know what I mean? Make sure you hit the like button. All right. So shout out to the Fighters, where I believe I did shout them out. Shout out to you guys.
Yes.
So we have all these inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's where he is. Christine, in your opinion, did he get off too lightly here? Was this a good punishment? Do you think it was too harsh? Like, what do you think?
You know, this is the thing. If I say that he got off too lightly, then I have to say everybody who's ever popped dirty, from Roy Jones Jr., Canelo, Dillian White, the list goes on and on, right?
Alicia Baumgartner,
Andre Burrow,
Conor Ben,
Tony, Amir Khan, Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao never tested positive. What's going on right now?
He did pop dirty for something. I'm not sure what it was.
No, he didn't.
Okay, we're gonna Google it after this.
I will defend Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao never tested.
That's my favorite guy. That's my favorite guy. But
shout out to everybody for the Philippines. Everybody for the Philippines has left this chat.
Forgive me, but I can.
No. He was accused by Mayweather, but he was never.
Maybe that's what it was.
He actually sued Mayweather for slander and won in court. That's what he did.
Okay, well, good. Good. That makes me happy. I can sleep better tonight. But the point is that if we say that he got off light, then everybody did. I mean, a year. I mean, we've talked about that. Like, sometimes they don't even fight for 10 months to a year to 2 years anyway. So a year suspension. Okay, what does that do? Okay, it's across the board. Everybody's getting off lightly across the board.
Okay.
But the thing that I do have to say is that, so Haney, got his O back. How come Alicia's girl, Christina, didn't get, it no contest, the fight no contest, or other people before them? It's
right.
That
is a different commission. It's Michigan.
I get it. I get it. But there needs to be a world something. And I get it's the commission. I get it's the sanctioning bodies. I do. I don't understand all the rules for each and every one, because I mean, I'd have to be like a walking boxing almanac, and I'm not, or encyclopedia, and I'm not. But I think there needs to be like one governing body over boxing, period. Because it has to be the same across the board, in my opinion.
We'll see what happens. Like, to me, Alicia Baumgartner had like anabolic steroids. She had more serious. Like, there's no doubt about that.
For sure.
And then the WBC was like, yeah, she had it, but we believe that it wasn't intentional. Like, okay, but she still fought with it.
Everybody says that.
Now, 100%. It brings me to this. Like, speaking, like I went to jury duty today, right?
Right.
And now I go because there was a time, Christine, where I wouldn't go to jury duty, right? I would blow it off. No, I would blow it off, and then they would send me like a.
You can't blow it off.
But let me tell a story.
Okay, my bad.
So I'm getting there.
Okay.
So I used to blow it off all the time. Nothing would happen. So one day they called me for court, right? And so I go to court. The first time I said this, it worked, right? And I noticed it was working with everybody. So I'm like, oh, I never got it in the mail. I didn't receive it. So it must, oh man, by God, it must have gotten lost in the mail. My bad, Judge, because I would have definitely have gone, right? That worked 2 times for me. I wouldn't sweat it. I could just go tell them I couldn't make it because I never got it. How would they know? How could they prove that I didn't get it in the mail, right?
But you still have that you live at the address, but you didn't get it. I got you.
Right. So my point is this. Is it possible that somebody may not receive it over the mail? That's possible. Things do get lost in the mail, right? That's always a possibility. But what a coincidence that every time somebody doesn't go to jury duty, oh, I didn't get it in the mail, right? So one day, it was about 6-7 years ago, I get called to court again, and here I show up. I'm just going to say I didn't get it, right? Before anyone says anything, the sitting is all down, and the judge tells us to stand up, right? Who has a good excuse? Who's going to make an excuse for not showing up? Everyone stands up, right? If you're going to tell me you didn't receive it over the mail, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to fly anymore. So if you, although the judge didn't say fly anymore, but you know what I mean.
Right.
So the judge basically told everyone, if the reason you're not coming to jury duty, if the reason you're going to give me why you didn't come is because you never got it in the mail, go ahead and sit down right now. Everybody sat down, right? There was maybe 2 people still standing, right? That's where we are now with contamination, right?
I didn't know.
We've reached the point where it's, you know what? Everyone's been saying contamination, or here's my hair follicle, here's this, here's that. Now everyone started to do that as if it's going to get them free.
Right.
Well, that's not going to work anymore because that excuse has been abused by everybody who gets popped.
Absolutely.
Right? Do I believe some of them? I actually do. Some of them, I think they're full of shit, like Alicia Bumgarner. I'm sorry, I don't believe her. Right? Ryan, I'm iffy about it. I don't know, to be honest. But unfortunately for Ryan and for everyone else, it's been abused at this point, right? So strict liability, right, it's going to have to be enforced. And that's what I see in this case. I agree with you that a year is not a stiff punishment in boxing. Now, he didn't fight a year before that, since he fought Tank, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He might have been back in a year anyway. Like, it's whatever.
Right, exactly.
Haney says he's going to be back next year. He's suspending himself, I guess. Okay. But my point is this. I just don't think the contamination issue is going to work anymore.
No,
like it just isn't.
Especially at this level, you know, with everything that's at stake like this, you know, I do believe, because I've seen it. There are boxers that have totally put all of their trust in their trainers, in people around them, strength and conditioning coaches, nutritionists, people that they trust, especially the coaches, you know, that have said, hey, take this, do this, whatever, and they trust them because they have years of experience with them, years of working with them, so they trust them. So I think it has happened, you know, in the past. But I think now at this level, the way the climate is and all these people that are popping dirty, you need to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know, what's in that? What is that? You know, you look it up. You know, you look at the list.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to like
do your homework.
When you're the fighter, you're basically, in the eyes of the commission, you're the captain of the ship.
Absolutely. Right? You are the boss. Absolutely.
But you may not see it that way. You may see your trainer as a boss because you train with them and or whatever. You may see those people as in charge, but the fighter has to definitely have a close eye on who they're working with.
Absolutely. The trainers and everybody else can be replaced in like this. You can't. It's you.
100%. And so now it's going to be a difficult thing. So we're going to see where it goes. In my opinion, Christine, if Ryan wasn't so inconsistent with everything he was saying, if Ryan would have just shut up from the beginning, right,
and just sat back and
saw, and don't say that Conte has something to do with it, and that Bill Haney and the Haneys, they contaminated his thing and this and that. If he would have just shut up, like, they would have given him 6 months. There's no doubt in my mind.
You know, and I'm speculating. Okay, I'm not gonna just I'm just gonna speculate. Okay, I'm gonna say that I believe that he started, you know, drinking more or drinking, maybe taking something to relax him or whatever. And so all that stuff mixed together just adds to this sporadic behavior, you know, and then that's what we've seen on Twitter and everywhere else. You know,
no, I definitely agree. And my thing is this: Austrian is on the ban list. Okay, so if it's in your system, it shouldn't be in your system.
Right, exactly.
And I'm hearing an argument, oh, it's actually worse if you take it. Look, obviously it's in the ban list for a reason.
Yeah, there's no worse. If it's on the list, it's on the list.
Look, yeah, that's my point. And I was going to say this. A couple years ago, this was back in, I think, like 2012 or whenever Eric Morales and Garcia had the rematch. They were going to fight in New York. I believe it was at Barclays. I was with Hailstorm Sport at the time, and we got wind from 3 different sources that Eric Morales popped for a diuretic by USADA, right? And we put the information out there. We called the commission. The commission had no idea. They had no clue. But even when the commission found out, even when it came out that it was true after the initial denials, they still allowed Eric Morales to fight. Right?
Yeah.
So, which is amazing when you think about it. And look at where we are now. Like, because they had caught this before the fight started, whereas this was different. It was after the fight. I don't believe Eric Morales he might have been fine, but I don't think they withheld his purse, obviously, or I don't think he would have fought. So that's just it's just a big difference to where we were then and where we are now. And I just think that the excuses, whatever they are, they're running their course.
Well, let me ask you this. So in that case, you know, everybody knew and the fight went on. You know, do you believe, and this is just our own personal belief or speculations, do you believe that many times, more often than not, this does happen? Because we have to think, you know, the promoters have a lot to lose. I mean, they have a lot to lose if the big fights don't go on. Do you believe that this possibly happens more often than not?
Of course I believe that, because I witnessed it.
Yeah. And then after that, we just see where the chips fall, you know?
Yeah. Like I
need
mean,
to make my money back.
I do believe that there's cases where the promoter is notified first. And I have every reason to believe that. And then they tell the commissions, and then they tell I don't think it should be like that. I think the moment someone pops, the commission should be notified. Both teams should be notified. Now, in this case, Danny Garcia's team was notified, in fairness. But Danny still was okay with doing the fight because he wanted to get paid. So,
right.
Like, it is what it is. But
that's the thing: no fight, no money for anybody involved. That's the thing, and that's the sad and scary part. You know, there might be a small percentage of people that'll be like, "No, I don't care about the money," but then the majority wins. The majority rules, and that's why we see so many cases like this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney
100%
situation. But I wanted to ask you. So I've seen a couple of Twitter X, you know, tweets, and where people are making this a race thing. You know, they said that with Ryan Garcia, nobody is making it a big deal, or nobody is crucifying him the way they did like Alicia Baumgartner or other or African American fighters. And I personally hate this shit, because to me and to you and to most boxers are boxers, cheaters are cheaters. They don't have a color, they don't have a religion, they don't have a
So I'll say this. I think what happens, and this is one of the reasons I don't like diving too deep into these racial conversations, because of course in every race, if you just go by the extremes, like, you know what I mean, you're going to find examples of people that are more biased against black fighters, maybe because they don't like black fighters because they're black, and of course you might look at other extremes where they don't like Hispanics fighters because they don't like Hispanic people, or
Canelo got it pretty bad.
you're going to have some extremes that don't like white people, so that they're against white fighters. But the reality is this: like, I just like to look at things for their merit, right?
Same.
The Alicia Baumgartner thing, I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you, with everybody. I don't think it had anything to do with race. However, I do think it was everything to do with the fact that she's a woman.
Absolutely.
And she's an attractive woman.
Not just a woman.
Well, here's the thing. She's an attractive woman.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I do believe a lot of people gave her a pass because they're attracted to her and they're cool with it. And like, I saw people say, I don't care my baby's guilty. They should still let her fight. She's your baby. Like, well, what are you talking about? I think it had more to do with that, to be quite frank with you. Other female fighters, if they would pop like that, I just don't believe that they would have gotten the same treatment.
Martinez that fought.
I also think that you got to look at the timeline of everything, right? The first one to use, like, really push out he's not the first one to say contamination, but to do a hair follicle and kind of find the traces of where the contamination came from with the meat, and was Canelo, right? And now, like, I don't know, people thought, okay, this is a blueprint I could use, right? Yeah. And then I can use that. And that's right. You saw Alicia Baumgartner try that. You saw Ryan Garcia try that. And I think there's some flaws on their part, to be quite frank.
Sure.
Right. However, you got to look at the timeline. You got to look at when one person did it versus the other, and how many more people have done it since then. And it's the excuse, it's running its course, right? Is what I believe.
Yeah. Sure.
And not only that, clearly Ryan was actually punished, and Alicia Baumgartner wasn't.
Exactly.
So I don't even understand how anybody could possibly make that argument.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, I personally, like, I think people were upset that more people are not up in arms or like bashing him publicly. What the thing is like, I personally haven't bashed anybody, although I've raised questions, just because that's not what my platform is, to promote bad news. I'm just not into that. I just try to promote news and talk about it. But how far do we have to bash somebody? They've all been bashed, respectively in their own right. But I wanted to bring up someone else. Mia St. John has said publicly, and we had her on the show, Women Crushing It Wednesdays, and she said it on the show as well, that she had taken performance enhancers her whole career. And nobody ever accused her of it or put it out there. She admitted it, and so I was thinking, when we were talking about the promoters and the commission and everybody that knows things and they don't say anything, obviously they were turning a blind eye, and how many others have gone the same route and just been not, detected. This is not the first, or these are not the first, the list that we have are not the first ones, the first 10 or 20.
HLD says Alicia Bogart had enough anabolic steroids in her system for a 200-pound bodybuilder. She's different. I did say, I don't know when you started listening, and I did say, and Christine heard me say it, that what Alicia Bumgarner took was worse in my opinion. But
yeah, for sure.
Like that's already been said. But as far as the Austrian, that's I understand that that's the argument being made, that it's not effective at all. It actually makes you a worse fighter. And maybe all that's true. I just know it's in the banned substance. That's what I know.
It's still on the list. It doesn't matter. Right. It's still on the list.
Like that's the only point we're making. I don't think anybody's talked about, which brings me to this next point. So Devin Haney gets his W back. Or not W, but his O back. It's a no contest now. So he's undefeated again, Christine. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's the wrong decision by the commission. By letter of the law, that's the right decision to do. And it's what I predicted from the beginning. So I was right. Just putting that out there for those who are saying I was wrong and they're not going to do anything, and that they're not. And let me just argue with like
he was right.
I was just right. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe you guys should listen to my judgment and my opinions a little bit, because it turns out I'm right a lot. Right. So, but here's what I will say. Just from a boxing standpoint, I don't know. Like, you think Devin Haney really believes that the Austrian and Ryan Garcia system is the reason he got beat?
Look, Haney got the shit beat out of him on TV. We can watch it over and over and over and over again. We know that there were no adjustments made. We know that he did not train for Ryan Garcia. He thought he was, I don't know what he thought, but there was nothing that Ryan had in his system that could have helped or not helped the ass beating that Haney got.
Because I got to be honest with you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I kind of felt sorry for a minute. I felt sorry for him when he was in the ring. I did, because he was just being thrown around like a rag doll. And then after, when everything came out and people were just dogging him, I even made a post. I felt sorry for him. Even though he and his dad especially, have a big ass mouth and you want to shut him up, he got his ass beat. So they can put the O up there. There's others, people that I know that have seen and know about the fight in Tijuana too, where he had another loss, but it was somewhere, it's just like miraculously not there. So it doesn't matter what it says. My opinion. We saw the ass beating.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like, I know Muhammad Ali beat George Foreman by knockout. Right? Like, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason something happened and they overturned it and it turned into a no contest, no one's going to go to BoxTopix and check if he officially.
Nobody cares about that.
You just know, like, everybody saw what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't believe. Me personally, I don't believe that. Granted, and it needs to be said, he still took an illegal substance, right?
Yeah, sure.
And of course, I believe the commission made the right decision. Sure. I do believe Ryan was inconsistent with his stories. He should have just shut up. Right. But my point is this. I just don't think that's why he won the fight.
No, it's not. It's not. And like Mike Ramirez says, and shout out to him, the rematch will have the same outcome. I think the first fight took a lot out of Haney. Me too. People don't realize that these fights take years off these fighters. And that was an ass whooping like we have not seen in quite a few years.
Yeah, and the thing is, people are calling it steroids. It's not a steroid.
Right.
So it's not an anabolic steroid like somebody else had, right?
Right.
But to me, eventually he's going to get back in the ring, and other fighters that they just know what happened. Like, it's he's going to have to deal with the reality of what happened. Now look, Haney's young and he can overcome that. But what I'm questioning is I don't know. Like I know he's happy that he got his O back. It's really important to him. But my whole point in all this is that like no one's going to look at you as an undefeated fighter.
No, they're not. And I hope that they sit back and talk about this. Like I think that Bill is his head trainer, you know, and he needs, to me, in my opinion, needs to find another trainer. I'm not saying kick your dad off the team. I'm saying let him be there as well. But you need somebody that's been there and that can show you how to adjust to a fighter, because your dad's not it. Mystic Max said Michael Rivera tested positive against Frank Martin and still got whooped. I didn't hear nobody crying and complaining for Frank Martin, and didn't see Frank Martin trying to press charges after either. Yeah, that's true.
So here's the thing: nobody says anything. Like Khan popped already after the Brook fight, but he got his ass whooped in that fight. So nobody
right.
And I believe he had Austrian too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was Austrian too. Yeah.
And I'm gonna look. I know he beat Haney up, but like,
he didn't just beat him up; he whooped his ass.
Like, but what I'm trying to get at is Ryan didn't look all that great himself in the fight. He looked like he looked gassed at points. His volume was low, and he still won.
He won because he saw that his hook was working, because there was no answer from Haney, so he just kept throwing it. You know, if it would have been anybody else, they would have adjusted, but he didn't. So he kept throwing it, and boom, there we go.
And Austrian isn't going to turn your hook into a power punch. It just doesn't.
It's not. He's strong. He's strong. I know people that have sparred him. He's strong. There's no denying that.
Yeah. So look, and again, there's nuance to this, and there's different ways to go about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering what his mental state's going to be as he moves on to another fight, you know? And I was saying he wants to run it back, Christine.
Hey, let's go. It's going to be.
And to me, it's like, okay, there's no better way to settle this. Like,
that's right.
Trial by combat. Let's go. So like,
and you know what? And people, like promoters, are already salivating, because can you imagine how many pay-per-view buys it's going to make? Like,
I think it sells more than the first fight.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Listen, if Ryan is nothing else, he is a fucking genius when it comes to generating money, generating dollars. He is. Love him, hate him, whatever. He can make money.
Yeah. So Garcia, we're gonna see where it goes. And here's another thing. When that video surfaced of Loma like crying in the back in a fight, by the way, that most people feel Loma won, right?
Yeah.
Haney was mocking him for that. And then Roach loses, and he does a post. Oh, this guy's ass. He sucks. And
Roach,
so I just don't want to hear the Haney fans. Like, oh, why everyone going at him because he lost? Haney goes at people when they lose.
He does, and his dad does too. He makes little short videos all the time.
Yeah, the energy you have around you is the energy that comes back.
Exactly. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think him weighing over the limit was more of an enhancer than the Austrian.
Absolutely, I do too.
Absolutely. You know, that's my opinion. And look, I'm not defending what he did, but here's the problem. The problem is this. Remember when Haney was almost daring him to come overweight?
Yeah.
He was like, hey, let's do 500,000 per pound, Ryan.
Yes.
And then he shook his hand and he was smiling. Yeah. And then his dad was bragging, oh yeah, we're gonna take all this money from him. And remember when he did his best Floyd Mayweather impression, and he was like, oh, he's a C-level fighter. I'm an A-level fighter. Yeah. And that's Floyd's thing from the Gotti fight. Like, you copied it.
Exactly.
Only Floyd actually made Gotti look like a C-level fighter.
Yeah. He
forgot that part. And I don't care how much Austrian they gave Gotti, or if Gotti came over 3 pounds, he was not going to be Floyd Mayweather that night.
Right.
So it is what it is. Right?
It is what it is.
So look, Do you I guess, like, to me, I think they feel like they still have the O, and they know Ryan cheated, so it'll like soften the blow from the loss, and people can still
No.
view him as an undefeated fighter.
I mean, is it like a security blanket? Like, no, like it doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry. It's like we've all seen the fight. The videos are everywhere. You know, there's memes everywhere. It doesn't matter. It's almost a joke that they gave it back to him. Like, seriously, I think it
And,
makes it worse.
and
That
I
they
know
gave it
people are
back.
complaining about the 3 pounds, right? And look, I'm not excusing it. The guy didn't make the weight, and I
Yeah,
criticized him when he missed the weight, by the
right.
way. So, but what I'm saying is this: I don't know one person. I swear to God, I don't know one person who, when he weighed over 3 pounds, they're like, oh, he's gonna be too big and strong now. I'm gonna go for Ryan.
Right. Right.
They were still saying, "Ah, he's still gonna beat him." And then when it
Yeah.
doesn't
You're
happen,
right.
it's a problem.
You're right.
So like, I guess we'll see what happens. Haney now saying he ain't gonna fight a weight class. He's gonna fight whatever weight class he wants, and
I
he's
mean,
mad,
okay.
Christine.
Okay.
He's mad that they didn't bid on this fight with Senator
Why
Martin
didn't
for
he
the
bid
person.
on it? He has his own promotional company. Why didn't he bid on his
That
own self?
that's a great question.
Bet on
And
yourself. Okay.
because I think he knows he wanted someone else. That's my opinion. I think he wanted
Someone
somebody
else to
else to
pick
foot
up
the
the
bill.
tab. No. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, he's that dude that he wants to order all the he hangs out with everybody at the steakhouse and he gets himself a big T-bone steak. You know what I mean? And then he wants somebody else to foot the bill. Like, come on.
Right.
You know what
No.
I mean?
Pay for everybody's steak. No.
Yeah, like, what's going on? He's mad
You
at
got
Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn, you're not like Eddie Hearn just said about it. He said the fact that they didn't know ahead of time that I was not going to bid shows you the incompetence of their team, number one.
absolutely.
And second, like if they would have asked me, I would have wanted a promotional contract with them. Like,
Right.
I don't just
And
gonna bid.
Eddie is a businessman. He's about money. Okay.
That's right.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what to bid on and what not to bid on. Just saying.
Top Rank put 2.4 million. He should be happy with that, bro. Like, what do you mean? Bob Barham's trying to hook you up, and he's still mad about it. You know what I mean? I just want Bob to give me a 20. I'll be happy with that. You know what I mean? Just What's up? What's up?
Money's not much these days, bro.
No, probably not.
Just
But you're lucky to buy lunch with a $20 bill. Nowadays.
A couple of gallons of gas, a few gallons of gas.
That's right. You go like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. What? What's going on? But
seriously.
Like you see the gallons like slowly filling up, and then the dollars like whoa,
yeah, right.
Slow down.
Click.
Click. That's right.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens with all that. We'll see what happens with Haney, Garcia. Garcia saying he's going to retire. He's done with the sport.
For 9 months he is.
He can't believe the sport did this to him. I mean, I don't want to tell you, brother. It is what it is.
Life sucks sometimes, especially when you don't do what you're supposed to do.
That's right. Tank Davis knocks Martin out in the 8th round. He kept telling everybody I'm gonna knock him out in the 8th.
I said 7. I was 1 round off.
You should have listened to him. He kept telling you.
Should have.
Big uppercut. Got him against the ropes. I know people keep asking Garcia, like, why did he get himself against the rope? I just think he was tired. I think he felt the pressure. I think he was tired.
I think he felt the power. I do. I think he felt the power. He boxed very well. We both agreed. We talked about this offline. Yeah. He boxed very well. And I like Frank Martin. I think he's going to give anybody else the business. I do. And we've seen him give people the business. But I think that he felt some of those shots, even through his defense. And he was like, well, shit, I don't want to get knocked out. Yeah.
I think I remember like years ago, I heard Bert Shurka talk about like every generation there's like these punchers that even when they don't hit you clean, you could feel their power.
Yeah,
right?
Even when they hit you through the gloves, through the defense.
Yeah, like even when it grazes you, you feel it.
Absolutely.
And I think Tank has that type of power.
He does.
And I think he has the ability to control the power
Yes.
Meaning I think he gives a lot of these guys like a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
Hits him clean, like he did it to Leo Santa Cruz. He hit him clean a couple times, and it looked like to me like Santa Cruz was like, well, he hits hard, but it's not like I could take it. You know what I mean? I'm good. And then before you know it, Santa Cruz is like trading punches with Tank Davis. I'm like, what? And then he knocks him out cold.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, boom, and then you're out.
Well, yeah, because it's like pop, 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 boom, pop, 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 boom, you know. And the thing is too, is that all those punches add up. You can only take so many punches, and then every now and then you get that one hard one, pop, 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 hard one, and then after a while you're just like, you just can't do it anymore. And I think, I don't know for a fact, because I don't know, I personally don't know people that have sparred Tank. I've seen him fight even in the amateurs, even in the juniors when he was a kid. It looks to me, just looking on the outside, that he is equally heavy-handed in both hands.
Me. He's got power in both hands for sure.
Yeah. So
and it's also
those punches add up.
I've seen him knock out guys to the body, like Barrios. I've seen him like Martin and Santa Cruz caught him with a big vicious uppercut.
Yeah.
I've seen him catch guys with hooks, overhands.
Yes.
And knock guys out that way. So a guy who has accurate, and I saw him actually say it in one of his, like somebody kept saying, like, do you think you got the power? They feel your power, and Tank kind of said, look, I have power, but I'm also accurate. It's my accuracy.
Absolutely. And someone says that also, Javi says Tank took the body away, then went for the KO. He did take the body away too. He started, you know, softening up the body, you know, and that's the thing. That's the old saying, you know, touch the body and the head will follow. And that is very true. That is very true. I mean, that's what we tell our fighters. Start touching the body early.
Which tells me about this, Christine. I mean, not that I want to bring them up or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, you know, I'm not trying to like just promote the guy. I'm not his promoter or nothing like that. But you know, Isaac Cruz, you know, Pitbull Cruz gave Tank all he could handle.
Yeah.
And I said it then, and I kept telling people that performance against Tank's gonna age well, because just watch, Tank's gonna be knocking a lot of dudes out.
Yeah.
Right? Making easy work. He did easy work of Ryan Garcia. And now I think Ryan was a little weight drained, but it's a different story. But hey, he agreed to fight. It is what it is.
Right.
And then he just knocked out Frank Martin. You know, I just a cheap plug for Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz did his thing against Tank Davis. I'm just saying.
You're right.
And I thought he wanted to fight too. I scored at 6.
That was excellent. Yeah.
I scored at 7-5 for Isaac Cruz, but it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And Isaac Cruz had the answer for the uppercut, right? He had the
guard. Are you texting him now?
You know what I mean? Shout out to Pitbull, Isaac Cruz, who I don't know, you saw when he knocked out Raleigh, right? You saw what it did to Raleigh?
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there, right?
Of course.
And you know what else I said? I kept telling people, Isaac Cruz knocks out Matias. No, Matias is a killer. Nobody could be Matias. Okay, what happened?
Yeah,
right.
What happened?
So now before we get to Paro, I want to give him a shout out. But before we get there, David Benavidez. What did you think, Christine? After watching that performance against Vajdik, were you like, oh man, Canelo better watch out, or like, were you?
No.
Were you more impressed, or what? What were you thinking?
No, I think you know, there were two things that were against Vajdik. Number one, I believe his age. Number two, and he's never done this because they don't do this, is he wasn't touching the body at all. And even not touching the body, and even at 37 years old, you know, after layoffs and some mental stuff from past fights, you know, he still did amazing to me, you know, with Benavidez. Benavidez, I think Canelo was sitting at home or wherever he was, salivating now. Like, I think that if someone's going to pay them 200 million, like, you know, Canelo wants, and if that's what he wants, then hey, that's what he wants. Then he's now going to be like, cool, you know, because He did not look so great to me in this weight
Shout
class.
out to Stephen. How you doing, brother? He said both Pitbull and Tank are short fighters with good chin, styles make fights, and they have like no neck. You can't knock those dudes out.
Yeah,
How you
you're
gonna
right.
not like?
You're right.
You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
Like it's like you hit them and there's no like movement, bro. It's just like
The head's not
ping.
going back because it can't. It's there.
That's what it is. It's like a shock absorber. You know, it's just
Right.
they're gonna have to get clean, like really with a good shot to
Yeah.
get hurt.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen either guy like stunned, like where they're like whoa,
No.
or knees buckled. I don't like,
Yeah.
and they
I
both
don't.
landed haymakers on each other. They like that was a hell of a fight too.
Man, that was a
C
beautiful fight.
Wood, Paul Masters, how you guys doing?
Yes, Paul Masters. Thank you. Hello to everybody.
Voshnik, look, Voshnik, experienced the traumatic situation with Stevenson, and ever since then, I haven't seen him punch through a target anymore.
Yeah,
he doesn't. It's not quite the same.
Sure.
And then on top of that, he took a beating from Beterbiev.
Oh man,
in a fight that he clearly was sound like he was gesturing to Teddy Atlas, "I'm good," and Teddy kept pushing it back out there.
Yes, gosh, I hated it.
You got to go out there. You got to do it. You got to do it. Like Teddy, he's done.
You get
bro.
out
like,
there. I hated it. It's horrible.
And you could argue that played a big role, and he was gone for 3 years after that.
Yeah, exactly. So with all of that, and I'm not taking anything away from Benavidez by stating, or you're not, by stating all these things, but still Vosdick was able to do a pretty decent job with Benavidez. You know, I mean, props to him.
Yeah, because look, at the end of the day, he's still been boxing his whole life. He knows how to box. So muscle memory, he's got the skills are there.
And
it's just that
some cajones.
I just feel like there isn't that like, let me take it that next gear to try to win. It was more like, I'll settle for what we're doing right now.
Right.
And I don't know. I also think the fact that he's a little bigger than Benavidez, and Benavidez had to fight somebody around his size, I think played a factor as to why he didn't stop him, and why there was some damage on Benavidez, even though it didn't seem like he was.
I haven't seen damage like that on Benavidez before. Have you?
No, so I think that just naturally happened because he's fighting like a guy his size.
Exactly.
Right. But now, like he was talking all this. I'm going to campaign. I want the winner better be Bivol. But now he's like, oh, I want to go back to 168. I want the Canelo fight.
Yeah, listen, don't stay away from those guys. Stay away. You know what, Benavidez, props to you. You're still young. I have respect for you. I'm a fan. But stay away from Bivol and Beterbiev. Stay away from them.
Yeah. I don't know. He may just want to do it, but you know how fighters are. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess if the money's right.
That's right. But I say, well, try Canelo first. If you get past
Canelo's willing. Canelo is the one that's going to call the shots.
Well, do you think Canelo's going to fight him?
I think it's a possibility. I think why not? I think he's probably salivating after this fight. Like I said, I think if the money's right again, he's going to do it because he knows that everybody wants to see it.
Speaking of everybody wants to see it, do you still stand by you'd rather see the Crawford fight? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a close second or is it like a distant second?
It's a very close second.
Okay.
Very close. Like second,
Yeah, I like both fights, and I think Canelo's going to make a shitload of money in both fights. So I don't.
Absolutely, he is.
The pay-per-view money is probably going to get you what you want. So and
then he can ride off into the sunset on his horse.
That's fine.
His white, whatever horse it was.
Shout out to Canelo. Hey, he's living the life. I don't really see the stories.
Hey, I'm saying he's living the life.
That's right.
He grow his hair out like Fabio. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. So, Paro he goes to Puerto Rico, and I don't know what happened to Matias, but I think it's Paro just had the right game plan. Paro box. He takes discipline. He was getting tired in the middle rounds. His corner did a great job, steering the ship and keeping him focused and getting him back to boxing. And he finished that fight strong, in my opinion. I scored it 8-4. And I will say, I didn't like that ref. That ref was trying to hook up Matias a little too much for my liking.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that. I saw highlights because I was on a different network, but I saw the highlights and I did hear about the ref, you know, and so many times do we see this. So many times. I mean, I think it was even, was it Benavidez's fight too, where the ref was only looking at Vosdick? It was, I forget what fight it was, but I'm like,
yeah,
bro,
we see it a lot. Yeah,
we see it a lot, like all the time.
Like Ryan against who's the guy he fought? The last guy, Duarte.
Yeah.
He kept looking at Duarte when Ryan was one giving his back.
Right.
Oh, you're hitting him in the back. Well, he's turning his whole back.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
He kept warning Duarte for it. I'm like, why are you warning the guy following the rules? Like, what's going on?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
It's I think we're seeing it too, like more often than not. You know, it's more evident.
Look, to me, if a guy throws a right hand, right?
Yeah.
And you turn around and give him the back of your head in the process, that's not a rabbit punch to me.
That's
like,
not
you
a
turn
rabbit
your
punch.
head.
Right, exactly.
So that's when he was warning them, but it wasn't
and
that
it's like,
bad.
I don't know if we're seeing it more or if we're paying attention to it more now. I don't know. But I don't know if it's more common or we're just like paying attention to the corners, the ref, the who's judging the fight. Like, I think that we're starting to pay attention more to those things because those things do play a factor, you know, and they always have.
Yeah, we're advancing. You know what I mean? We used to be a T1000. We're 2000s now. You know what I mean? We're just advancing like the Terminators did.
We're like, well, I mean, I saw so and so winning, but I must not know boxing. Like,
and I just gotta
we
say,
just accepted it.
I bet the over for Benavidez. I bet the over for Benavidez. The Benavidez Vosdick fight. I bet Tank knockout 7-12. I hit that, and I also bet Puello to beat Russell.
Hey, is anybody in the chat or am I getting any of this money? Because if not, we just don't care that you want to.
No. The reason I'm putting that out there is not to remind people I'm a degenerate gambler, like nothing like that. I'm just saying that maybe y'all should listen to me just a little bit if you want to make some money. That's all I'm saying.
So? Oh, is that
you know what I mean? Like, I'm just putting that out there. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. No, you don't gotta give me a percentage, but
just give
I'm
you
just saying Puello did his thing, and that was a big win. And I know you wanted to bring this up, so I tweeted out one more topic here. I tweeted out that I think the Inswell mask is cool, right?
Oh my!
So I just think it looks cool, like you know, like, it looks efficient, right? Because you do it all at once. You know, I'm not saying I never said it was effective.
It makes sense.
No, but like, yeah, it does because like, you put
it doesn't.
All of it.
No, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
What if?
No.
It's molded to the face.
Something on your chin? What if you have something on your nose?
No, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have like another
forehead, like.
No, it's on the forehead though. It's no. What I'm saying, like they mold it, right? So when you put it on, it's like it covers the whole thing.
Listen, if I see more people doing that, oh my God.
No. Granted, I'm not saying it's effective. I'm just saying it looks cool.
I mean, I guess.
I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, you know,
it
looks efficient.
It's not about looking cool in the corner. You got to be efficient.
I know.
You got to make sure your guy's good.
He's looking like Dr. Doom. You know, maybe it intimidates the opponent with it. Oh shit! Why is he got
it didn't work, did it? Looking like Dr. Doom. Did that help him?
So tell us why it's like why is it like dumb to use it?
First of all, what was it made out of? It looked like
it's metal, I'm sure.
It looked like that stuff that you get in like pewter, like you get in Mexico when you think stuff is silver, but it's like not. I think it's like pewter. It looked like that. Did it hold cold? I don't know. It's just not effective. How can you work with it? You can't move it, can't do what you need to do with it.
I guess the idea is it covers the whole face at once, so it does.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And then, I mean, and sometimes, you know, some people have trouble like breathing, like they need to breathe in the corner. You have less than a minute.
I'm sure it has, like, it's not covering the nostrils, is it?
It was above the bridge of the nose.
There you go.
And so sometimes it could just like, it's a mental thing. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm not a fan at all.
So Christine gives it a thumbs down.
You will not ever see me using something like that, ever.
So thumbs down?
Thumbs down,
so why I saw Russell use it his whole career almost, and then he's using it now. What's up with that?
Well, what happened?
Well, I don't think he ever lost. I never saw a fight where, oh man, he used that mask, that's why he lost. But
no, but I mean, what is it? What's the purpose? What is it for? Besides,
I'm only guessing.
Cool, so that you can say it's cool.
No, so these targets
effectiveness.
Cool. Effectiveness. No, but why is it effective? I'm only asking if the cold touches your whole face at once. Why is it
wasn't
effective?
on the whole face. It was just like a
from here up, like
a butterfly mask.
It kind of like it doesn't help with the swelling, like with the punches in the
forehead. What if your jaw is sore?
So you're like, hey, my jaw, and maybe he has the other end swell. Maybe they have something else. Like
maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe so.
So is what it is. Christine, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
No, I just thank the chat for tuning in, and I thank you as always for coming on with BoxTopix. I mean, I think it's always a good show. And tune in every Wednesday, you know, with your favorite girls, Women Crushing It Wednesdays. We always bring in the fire on the show. So with Crystal and Nika. So, and that's it. And what about you?
That's about it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is D Style Boxing. And for Christine, keep it boxing. We're out of here.
Boxing.